Welcome again, Carl Ford here in Boston at Axeda Connection 11, and I'm here with Joe Biron, who is Senior Director of Product Innovation. Joe, thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure, Carl. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're the most fun guy I think I'm going to have a conversation with, because now I get to go down into the weeds a little bit, so I apologize for that. So let's talk about it. You're really the guy who's kind of helping make it so that the API and the references are available for various players in the marketplace. Right. So Axeda is a platform, and now let's say I'm in the medical space. How would you guys build a reference for me? Talk to me about that.
Sure. So the Axeda platform is a vertically agnostic platform for connected product or M2M applications. And we like to think about an industry vertical reference application as being a spike to understand a particular vertical domain. So let's take mHealth, for example. If we were interested in building a platform for rapidly constructing solutions in the mHealth market, we'd like to put together a set of common services, common ways of doing things that we think all mHealth applications are going to need. So with the Axeda platform as the foundation and a reference solution as an investigation into a particular use case, we'll elicit what those things should be in an mHealth platform. So think of it like layers. It's like an ogre. It's like an onion, right? There's layers. There's the Axeda platform on the bottom layer, which are the common services for data scalability, for communication with devices, for a flexible API. And on top of that can be a domain-specific model, a set of services built on top of the Axeda platform that are specific to mHealth, that encapsulate the best practices for that industry and the ways those vertically oriented applications should be constructed.
Okay, and in that discussion, let's take it from the two layers. So one, I've got a device. The device has got various types of alarms and measurements that it's doing. Is most of this coming through some sort of API function? What am I doing to send it to you?
Sure. So for device communications, we've got a set of agent, what we call agent communication techniques. We've got an off-the-shelf Axeda agent that speaks its own protocol and is great for applications that have a PC.
Okay.
And also for applications that are behind a corporate firewall or behind a hospital firewall. For cellular applications, we developed a protocol that's very efficient in its use of bytes. It's also very compact, and it's able to be embedded into very simple devices. So very often, you're trying to take a relatively low-powered CPU for battery usage and for cost, and combine that with a cellular modem, and you need this thing to send data. So we built the protocol and a toolkit for rapidly constructing the embedded software that's going to do those things. So that is our API, so to speak, for device communication. That's a very different style of API from the type of APIs that would be accessed by other systems or by user interfaces to retrieve data from our platform. So there's devices that are communicating to our platform with a set of protocols that are tailored for M2M traffic, and another set of APIs that are tailored to application integration. Very different.
Okay, now, along with that, after we deal with the elements, then comes the human interface and the people who are trying to actually monitor stuff. So is that all web-based? Is that like JavaScript and XML, or what are we using there?
Right, so we tell what we use for our reference applications, and what we tell our customers over our platform is you can use any interface technology you like, because our common layer is our web services in our platform. That's the API for getting data from our cloud-based platform into a user interface. And it doesn't matter if it's HTML and JavaScript, or an Android application, or an Adobe Flex application, or a Silverlight application. The common language is web services. And we have a foundational set of web service APIs that do things that are pretty specific to our platform's domain model, which, remember, is generic. But we also have a very interesting system for allowing the platform on the platform developer to build a domain-specific set of web services that are more meaningful for their target domain. And that's built on our platform, can be rapidly constructed, and makes the look and feel of the solution feel more like an mHealth monitoring platform as opposed to a generic M2M platform.
Okay, now one of the big stories here is best practice discussions and what's the best practices. So let me ask you, from a company up until now, vertical apps have been basically kind of hardwired in.
Right.
So being a general platform company, is it easy to make the business case that coming into a generic platform that allows you to use the cloud is far more efficient and gives you easier access to a development community? How do you make the case there?
Oh, there's no question that it's better. So if you and I went out and looked for a fleet management application, we'd find hundreds of vendors that build fleet management applications. They're track and trace, they put dots on a map, and they have a specific set of capabilities. And their value proposition is, we built this thing, you pay for it, and you've got yourself your fleet management solution. But in a real company, a real organization that needs real fleet management, it's probably not going to do everything that you needed it to do. You're probably going to have to build something on the side that takes care of all the gaps that the off-the-shelf solution didn't do. By building on top of a platform with a reference solution for fleet management, you get the same out of the box. It does fleet management basics, but it's built on an extensible platform that was meant for customization. So we can build an 80% reference solution that is off-the-shelf usable, but it's built on a platform that makes that last 20% something that's a slam dunk, not this other thing off to the side that's going to take 2 years to develop.
Got it, got it. Great. Joe, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Carl. It's been a pleasure.